Hey everybody. So for this exercise, we are going to be starting off in our exercise file that we used in the last module. So if you remember, this is our little house, the first house that we built. So we're just going to start there. So I'll have you, please open that file up and we will start from there. I'm going to go to the main floor plan. The goal for this exercise is going to be able to create new views, because if you remember in the last exercise, we talked about how the template file has already done a good job at trying to create the views you'll need for you. But as a learning tool, that's not a great idea because now you don't know how to create views. So we're going to learn how to create views. We're going to learn how to create sheets. We're going to learn how to place all of the elements onto a sheet and then how to export that sheet into a PDF so that you can give that to clients or contractors. So we're going to begin by simply let's look at the south elevation, right? We want to be able to see the levels. All views in Revit are typically tied to a level. So before you create a level, you'll want to make sure there is a view that you can associate, or there's a level that you can associate the new view to. Did I say that right? Before you create a new view, you need a level so that you can associate the view with that level. So for example, we've already got the floor plan, that's the main floor plan, and it's associated with the main floor level. Then we've got level 2, L2, that's associated with the roof, because if you remember, this used to say L2. And remember the way of checking that. So just let me just show you to make sure you can see what I'm talking about. If we double click on level 2, if you remember, if you look over in the properties for the level and you go under extents and you look at associated level, it tells you what level it's looking down at, and it says roof. So you can see here's the roof and it's looking down at the roof, and you can even see level 1. So we don't actually need this level, so I'm just going to highlight it and delete it. And same with if you go under ceiling plans, there's a main floor ceiling that we used in the last module, and then there's a level 2 ceiling plan. We don't need the level 2 ceiling plan either, so I'm just going to highlight it and I keep double clicking. Just highlight it and then delete it. All right, so what we do want for this exercise file is, let's say we want to make a basement level. So there's a couple ways of making a new view. I'm going to show you a couple ways just so that you know which, and you can use whatever way is best for you. So the first way is the longest way, and I'll simply show you how to do that. Before we make the view for the basement, we need a basement level. Again, so that we can associate the view to a level. So I'm going to take the main floor and then I'm going to go up to the Modify tab, and I'm going to hit Copy. And I'm going to first click the level, and then I'm going to drag it down and click again, and that creates the first level. And then it wants to automatically, it's trying to have me create more levels. I'm just going to hit Escape twice to get out of the command. So here we have a new level, and we can name the new level Basement. And then we can set its height. So right now it's 11 feet below the main floor. I want it to be 10 feet below the main level because the main level is here. Then there's probably about a foot of structure. And then underneath that, I want 9-foot ceilings. So we're going to go 10 feet. Whoops, I didn't put negative 10 feet in. I accidentally put in positive. So negative 10 feet. And now it's 10 feet below the main level. All right. Now that we've made the level, we can make the view. So if you want to make a view, you're going to go up to the View tab on the ribbon, And then there is a little icon here that says Plan Views. It's under the Create portion of View. So we want to make a floor plan view. So I'm going to go to the Plan Views. And if I click down, it gives me a couple options. I can do a floor plan, or I could do a reflected ceiling plan. That's the ceiling plan we used in the last, but we don't want to make that. There's a structural plan, which you don't really need to worry about. It just has to do with the settings that it's going to populate by default. And then an area plan. An area plan is when you break up. It doesn't really apply to residential projects. They're usually small enough that the whole floor plan can fit on one sheet. But on large projects, the floor plan is so big that it won't fit on one sheet. So you have to divide up the floor plan into areas. And that's what an area plan is. We're not going to worry about that. We just want a new floor plan. So you click the floor plan button. And now it'll bring up this dialog box. And we want to make an architectural plan. That's just the type. It doesn't matter a whole lot which you pick. Well, it does. If you pick these other ones, it's going to filter out different things. So like if I picked a lighting plan or a mechanical plan, it will show all the mechanical ducts and hide architectural elements. So you're probably going to want the architectural plan. And now it tells you a list of levels that are in the project that do not yet have a floor plan associated with them. So if you remember, it's showing the roof level because we deleted the floor plan for the roof level. If I had not deleted it, the roof plan wouldn't be on this list. You'll notice that the main floor level is not on the list because it already has a plan associated with it. Just as an FYI, you can make another floor plan on a level that already has a floor plan. You just need to click this button down here and it'll let you make a new floor plan on the main level. But usually you don't want to duplicate plans. So we're going to keep that checked. And then we're trying to make a basement plan based off the basement level. So we're going to click that and click OK. So now if you look over here under floor plans, you now see there's a basement plan. And when we look at it, there's really nothing in it yet because if we look in 3D, there's nothing extending down below the main level. So when we go to the basement plan, there is nothing there yet. So let's fix that really quickly. Let's go into 3D. And let's select our outer walls. I'm going to Control. I'm going to Control click to add multiple walls so I have all four. And now if you remember from our last exercise, we can go over and we can look at the properties of the wall. Right now, the bottom constraint is set to the main floor level. But now that we made a basement level, we can select basement. And if we do that, it will move the bottom of the walls all the way to the basement. So now if we look at our basement floor plan, we could say, okay, now we can see the footprint of the house. So now we have a basement floor plan and we have a main floor plan. Now, remember how I told you we didn't need the roof? It's kind of a lie. Let's pretend we want to see a roof plan. So in that case, we do need a plan view of the roof. So let's look at how we make another plan view. We're just going to do the same thing, right? We're going to go to Plan Views, Floor Plan, Roof, click OK, and now it says roof over here. And now we're looking at the roof plan. Perfect. So now we know how to make views. Oh, I guess I should show you, there are two more ways to make a view. Let me show you those. So if we go to the south elevation, we don't need any more views in this project. So let's just delete our basement level. And it's going to tell you, oh, okay, let's cancel that actually. I'm going to take all the walls and I'm going to put them back on the main floor like that. And then we'll go to our south elevation and then I'll delete it. And it's going to tell me, oh, it's going to delete a couple items that are associated with the basement, including the view we just made. So we'll click OK. So now you can see the basement floor plan's gone, and so is the level. So that's unfortunate. But we can still remake it. So that's what we're going to do. So before, if you remember, to make the basement level, I copied the main level down. Instead of doing that, there is an actual command for making a new level. And the bonus is if you make a new level with the level command, it will automatically make a floor plan for you. So let's look at that. So on architecture, in the architecture tab in the ribbon, go to towards the end where it says datum, and there is a level command. So if you click level, you can then drag, you can just draw the level wherever you want it. Just like you're drawing a line. And then I like to go in and I grab the end of it and I align it with the level above on both ends just to keep it tidy. And then we'll name it basement. And you'll notice it asks you, would you like to rename the corresponding view? So that is your first indication that it already created a view for you associated with that level. We're going to say yes. And now if you go over here and look, you can see it's recreated the basement floor plan. It's even created you a ceiling plan. So it created both for you automatically. You didn't have to make the level and then make the view from the level. Different circumstances call for different things. Sometimes you just want to make a level, but you don't want any plans associated with it. Sometimes you just want a new level. And in that case, you would just copy the level up. But if you also want floor plans with your level, you can use the level command. Now, another way you can kind of make a view is you can duplicate a view. So if we wanted 2 floor plans of the main level, I can come over here and right click and I can duplicate the view like this. And now I'll have 2 floor plans. I do this because sometimes I want a floor plan that shows furniture and that's like a furnishings plan. And then maybe I want a floor plan where I just do dimensions. So then I just do a dimension plan. And we'll get into that later. For now, I'm going to hit Control-Z to undo that. So now we have our basement plan, our main floor plan, and our roof plan.